Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of an NBA player who secretly used their whole career to fight an actual war?
It sounds like fiction, doesn't it?
Exactly. But it's not.
Ah.
Today we're doing a deep dive into the pretty extraordinary story of Manute Bol.
The 7'7" giant from Sudan.
Yes, 7'7". And get this, he was the son of a Dinka tribal chief, born right into this country, just torn apart by civil war.
And he didn't even pick up a basketball until he was, what, 15?
15. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And then, boom, pretty quickly, he's an NBA sensation. People knew him for blocking shots, just swatting them away.
But that's just the surface, isn't it? I think what's really key here is that behind that very public image, the height, the court presence, he was carrying this immense kind of silent weight, the burden of his homeland, Sudan.
Right. So it's way more than just a sports story.
Oh, absolutely. It's about identity, conflict, what we even mean by heroism. It goes so much deeper than like points per game or block stats.
So, okay, let's talk about this secret mission now. The world sees this, maybe like a novelty act sometimes, the super tall guy.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
But off the court, totally hidden, he's doing something else entirely. He's wiring most of his NBA salary back home.
We're talking a significant chunk of his earnings.
And not for the usual stuff, right?
Right.
Not houses, not fancy cars, none of that.
No, it was going to fund a rebel group, the SPLA, fighting for South Sudan's freedom.
Think about that contrast for a second. You've got other players maybe buying Bentleys, investing in businesses.
Standard stuff for a pro athlete.
And Manute Bol is literally buying rifles. He's using his basketball money to fund a war effort.
It's pretty staggering when you frame it like that. And the personal cost was just enormous.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, estimates are he earned around $5.5 million over his NBA career. Not, superstar money today, but solid money then.
Definitely.
When he died in 2010, he had almost nothing left. It was gone.
Wow. All sent back.
Pretty much. And the incredible part, he seemed to have zero regrets about it. He genuinely believed. He felt God made him that tall for a reason.
Not for basketball.
Not just for basketball.
Yeah.
He believed it was to save his people. He actually said, God guided me to America and gave me a position, but he didn't give me the position just to leave my people. And another quote often attributed is simpler. God made me tall. I gave back to my people.
That's powerful. Just
Yeah.
straightforward.
It was his core belief, his
Fine.
driving force.
So then let's talk about the legacy.
Yeah.
Because his impact, it didn't really stop when he stopped playing. Maybe it even grew after he died.
In many ways, yes. Think about this. South Sudan achieves independence in 2011. That's just a year after Manute passed away.
Right.
And the leaders there, they explicitly said, we owe a debt to Manute Bol, clear recognition of his sacrifice.
Okay, so his people knew. They recognized what he did.
Absolutely. But then you look at, say, the NBA, the league that made him famous worldwide. Where's the big recognition of this side of his life? You don't see statues outside arenas for Manute Bol celebrating this aspect. No major league-backed documentaries focusing on his life's real mission.
That's a really good point. Why do you think that is, that disconnect?
It's complex, I suppose. Maybe it doesn't fit the neat narrative. But it highlights how quiet his biggest sacrifice was. He was, quite literally, a giant who walked among us, achieved fame, and then just quietly gave it all away, systematically. His most significant work, the thing he truly believed he was meant to do, happened largely unseen, away from the cameras and the sports pages.
The silent force, like you said,
Yeah.
even while being incredibly visible on the court.
Precisely.
So maybe the next time you're watching basketball, you see some incredible athlete, amazing wingspan making a great play.
Yeah.
Maybe take a second and think about Manute Bol. Remember how he used that incredible reach, not just for blocking shots, but for something else entirely? For hope, for freedom, for just profound sacrifice.
It leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? What does it really mean when a hero's most important, most impactful contributions happen in the shadows, largely unrecognized by the institutions that gave them the platform in the first place?
Something to really think about. What defines a legacy?